the bandwidth. And if they would devote a little more bandwidth to their calls, then you could really hear pins or whatever all else drop. And they really would be good connections. And if you reach back to the days when all cell phones were analog and not digital, even with the slim bandwidth that they were allowed then, it still sounded pretty good compared to the way the new digital whoop-de-doo cell phones sound now. And by the way, they're suggesting, I'll read you an article later on it, that the sun may be accountable, this time of night obviously, for a lot of dropped cell phone calls. So the next time in the middle of the day you get a dropped cell phone call, you might want to, well, blame the sun. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hey, Art, good evening. How are you doing tonight?
Quite well, sir.
The question I have for you tonight is, well, you know, wife and I really had a theory about the bees and the birds, and that's going to sound kind of ludicrous, but, you know, I don't know if anyone's ever looked into the fact, could they be transporting these to, say, Mars to try to colonize the population over there, or try to start, you know, some type of, I don't know, oxygenation or something like that?
Wouldn't have been my first guess. Who would you think would be doing that?
Well, I would think that, you know, some kind of a covert operational type, you know, government thing would be my suggestion.
Well, for starters, there's not enough oxygen atmosphere to support a bird flying around.
Well, I know, but if they were to put them in a dome, so to speak, and try to oxygenate that area to see and experiment, like to get plants or any type of, you know, growth on the soil itself, I mean, there could be a possibility of doing that.
Well, as I say, sir, I appreciate the guess, but it wouldn't have been my first. I think terraforming Mars would be a really fun topic to talk about. But I don't think you'd do it by putting biologicals on the planet. That'd be kind of like the last step. The first thing you'd want to do would be to put very low-level plants, things that would create some oxygen. I'm not an expert on how you terraform a planet, but I would think plants, moss, I don't know, things that would start a slow process that would eventually result in terraforming. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, this is Terry from Baltimore.
Well, hey.
Art, this is the first time I'm talking to you, and I know you don't like to hear it. You don't like people to brag on you, but I'm honored.
Well, thank you.
And I wanted to know, ask you a question. When do you think? Do you think in our lifetime that it will come out that aliens have been here and they know it?
I think there's a good chance. Yes, I do. I really do. I think there's a fair to middling chance that in our lifetimes, how old are you?
I'm 44.
44. I think pretty good chance that in your lifetime, or perhaps even mine, we may get evidence that they are here.
But do you think they'll come out with evidence that they already have?
Yes, I think that the planet has been visited for a long time. You know, it's I guess as much of a hope as it is a prediction, but I think there's a good chance, yes.
I just don't see the logic in. I know people would panic, you know that. But I think everybody's ready to hear it now, you know?
Would you panic?
No.
What religion are you?
Catholic.
Catholic. If you received incontrovertible evidence that not only had aliens been here on the planet, but in fact were our progenitors, had in fact created us, then how would it hit you?
I really wouldn't be surprised because, you know, when I'm seeing things here and there on TV, your show, when they're finding those hieroglyphic numbers on these, like Roswell craft,
yes,
and the same symbols are on the pyramids.
but
I'm already thinking things.
I know, but you believe firmly, don't you, that God created us?
Yeah, true,
But if you suddenly found out that it was not God, but in fact an alien race,
that would be a little shocking.
little shocking.
Yeah, but I swear I think they had something to do with the pyramids. Because I cannot seem to believe that humans could build something like that back then with nothing modern, and yet modern technology can't build nothing like that.
Well, yes, in fact, we've not been able to duplicate the pyramids. That's certainly true. The theory that I like is that and Zahi Hawass would hate this, the bottom stones, the big ones, were in fact put in place by human beings, slaves. And the top rocks were not put in place, they were poured in place. Now that's something they might have accomplished. You'll recall how smooth everything is with regard to the pyramids, how perfect everything is as if it was poured. Now that's certainly a possibility. I climbed on the pyramids, I went inside, I went up into the sarcophagus and had an opportunity to lay in that, which was one hell of an experience.
'Cause he's our pal.
And of course, had a personally conducted tour by Zahi Hawass, who maintains that the Egyptians, by all means, aren't built the pyramids, and if you try and suggest that anybody else might have had anything to do with it, he goes berserk. But on the other hand, if you suggest to him, well, Zahi, how did the Egyptians do it? He just goes, I have no idea, Mark. Nobody knows. That's the great mystery. But there can be only one answer, and that is the Egyptians did it. I'm Art Bell.